Hello, everyone. Today we have a guy on the circuit that brings a wealth of information. He is one of the earliest pioneers, if not the earliest. So without further ado, please introduce yourself, give your name, and when you came here to Toronto.
I'm Patrick Smith, aka Skedron. Came to Toronto in 1963. What I did, shortly after I came, not knowing anyone, I went down to the park. And when I got there, the first restaurant I ran into was Junior Parker. And we usually get together and kick around, with some Portuguese guys. And then there's one guy from Yugoslavia. And for some reason, he took a liking to me, so we were just staying after that. He wanted me to play beside him. So he took me up to an Italian, there's a little Italian senator thing on which I hadn't told you about before, on Broadview. And he take me up there and we play. And this man would come all the way across to pick me up in it.
Seeing that you came one of the earliest, it seemed like everybody knew they had to get a job here. A job and education, even if they came here to study.
No matter what neighborhood they come from, if they come here and they want to better themselves, they have to go to school. So therefore, your culture, I think that's where we have the most links, right? And so many, over the years, you've been made to know how many questions that you have. Yeah, because, I mean, like, even myself, went and did a couple of courses at both UFC and Ryerson, right? So you get that, and you're going to apply for a job or or to another school. They may on top of it, and that makes it easier, but at least you have the opportunity. Being here earlier than most of the other guys, Well, that's the thing, because it gave me an experience where it was rough, but, it's like the very first job I had was in a factory where I worked overnight, and I said, well, I put in a week, and I said, no, I don't think I can deal with this.
Sudbury, I understand you played an instrumental role.
The same Yugoslavian guy I told you about. He found out that the National League had a team in Sunbury. And so he, I let him back to Jamaica and played one season. And while I was down there, he was trying to get in touch with me because he had signed with them and he didn't want to play unless I was there. So finally, when I came back up now, he took me up to Sudbury, and he took me up. Most of our games were weekend because they're out to the circuit. And almost he'd drive me up every other week. We had a good time, and then they put me in a hotel and then came me to play. And then I was interviewed on the radio, and they were asking about the other players in Jamaica. And I told them, I say, well, this is my standard answer. They're just as good as I am, or better. Because you see, they're picking up players. I got one guy from Portugal, one guy they sent for in Ireland, And so they say, okay, we're going to bring up some players. So I'm thinking of the best players, but also the ones that I thought would need some help, because I think Victor Watson, I think he was on the national squad and not working. And Victor was the first one. And then after that, no. The guy that I brought up now were the guys that I knew, I played against, right? And so, Largy was one of the star players in the Jamaica squad, and that's a Dunkley. Played for the same club. It was YMCA in Jamaica, and they were one of the top clubs, like in Jamaica at the time. With me, I don't have an argument with anyone, so therefore I just knew them, say hi, how are you doing, and we play against each other, and that's it. We might meet at the party or something like that, but other than that, they weren't really friends. The only The only one who was my true friend was Victor Watson.
Okay.
And of course, again, the guys, well, Dunkley came in from the country part of Montego Bay. So we had a really nice mix. And they were fantastic because we won the league as the leading goal scorer. And some of the fans would come to the changing room and say, okay, for every goal you score, I'll give you $5, right? And of course, I was doing well because I had Dunkley beside me and Peter, so I had a couple of good guys beside me. So therefore, I was scoring the hat trick and always 1, 2, or 3, right? Yeah, a couple of teams, Serbia and Croatia. We realized how much they hated each other. Finally, Serbia and Croatia were going to meet. And that day, I finished playing and I walked outside, these guys didn't have me the money. And then when Serbia and Croatia played, next thing I know is that when I go outside, all the guys are gone. I think, I'm not sure if I lost.
So you were instrumental in Kuma coming up too?
Yeah, well, Kuma was in about the third set of guys I brought up, Like all the guys who played in Sunbury.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I'm going through, these people know because the other guys were there, right? All the guys who played in Sunbury.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were depending on those guys, then they probably realized that not too much to be done. So he was, I'm playing in the same league, with Serbia.
Mm-hmm.
And they're calling me because they need a couple of players from Jamaica. So I would call like Jackie Bell's brother.
So Mr. Granville, I finally got Patrick Skedron Smith.
The thing that has been on my mind is the work that Patrick did, regardless of what we might think or say. Patrick was responsible for bringing up a number of Jamaicans up to Sunbury. I know Lessons Dunkley, I know Vaz, Urkel Vaz, I know Henry Laggy, I know Frank Brown, Ramon and Watts. I must get in touch with Vernon. I used to tell Vernon that, look, it is strange. We have about 6 or 7 Jamaican players playing for Sunbury, and they would go down and beat a Jamaican team. It was, I used to think about it. What was the difference? I just couldn't figure it out. But that was a thought that used to be on my mind. And that was when this happened. This was in the 60s, and a lot of the players, while we're told, we were emphasizing or telling the people in Jamaica that, look, you need to carry. It's particularly Dunkley. I remember when I said, look, we will pay Dunkley fair to come back to Jamaica. You need to include him in the Jamaica team. And I mean, the powers that be at the time just wouldn't do it. But Patrick must be credited for the work he did.
The evolution of Sunbury into West Indies United, as far as I understand, you were one of the original members that was associated with Mr. Bailey.
Oh yeah, well, Mr. Bailey started West Indies, called me and said to me, he says, I know you're getting some money to play, but we want to form a team, and I knew, I'd heard of him, that he had formed the first black team in England, right? Mm-hmm. He had gotten the guys together, and the exhibition game all around England, and the guys were so good. That's when he had Cunningham and those guys, right? Mm-hmm. The guys were so good that the big teams didn't want to play them because they didn't want to be embarrassed. Like Chelsea and Manchester City and so on did not want to play against his team. So he said he wanted to do something like that here. And I was the man that he thought should. Then I came back down to Toronto because with Steve, when I'd gone up to Sunbury for a while, came to my game, right, and spoke to me after and said this is what he wants to do for the next season. So then Of course, I spoke to Junior and a couple of the guys, but Junior didn't start out with us. Junior was San Feeling. So I had to go to him every day for a year. But then the following year he came. So I had a great midfield because Junior and Dunkley behind me. Well, what I mean, we have the team going nice and smooth and, like, I think we're in second division and, we're beating this team like 6 and 7 or 8, nothing,
Mm-hmm.
But then so naturally we are moving up. But all the guys that were there were pretty decent players. You see, one of the things with Johnson too, that when these guys play hard, right? And especially when, can you imagine us beating an Italian team and then getting frustrated and wanting to start a fight. So, and they were upset on the referee because the referee had to blow against them. So the fight started and it looked like they were going to kill the referee and the nice man. So we gathered around them, our team gathered around them and walked them into our dressing room. And they were in our dressing room. And then we had to go before the board. And so Glanville and I went to represent United. And when we were there and they're talking to the referee, I just get up and tell the board that, they're not mentioning anything about the fact that we saved them. That we took them off the field. We circled them and took them into our training room.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the school a bit, we walked them out to their cars. And not one mention was made of that. And when they think about our team, it was predominantly most national players in general. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but all in all, because we had if nothing else, we had disciplined players, you had Earl Four, who used to play for Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
Just like his younger brother, Keith was coming after 118. And you had Bobby Coombs, who coming from Jamaica, was a star around there. And, Donald Pierce, another national player. And the goalkeeper, Pele, he was a former national player. So even the guys that were living here were big football stars from before that.
Regards to the incident that brought Tom Sosa to West Indies, as mentioned by Granville.
I knew that he brought in Sosa, but I didn't, but I never, really close to Sosa in any way, right? Mm-hmm. So I never brought him to the club. And he became a part of the club, and then just about then I started on my way out,
Oh, okay.
But I knew Miles because Miles came up and played with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Miles played beside me with Donald, the same Donald Pierce behind us. And we had a great time together, boy. Came and played over time, right? Because Miles, and Alan Callender.
Mm-hmm.
Those two guys, I distinctly remember those two.
Rainer was there too, correct?
Yeah, Ryan started to do this in this. And also Skedron, when he came up, I'm telling you, the first game I played, and he's playing like midfield,
mm-hmm.
and I'm playing up front. And the man kicked the ball, and I heard it come in and move out of the way. Well, I think that knew Skedron a hard kicker from Trinidad, because when he came here, he was already legendary, because one thing I knew, Skedron was a hard kicker, and I knew that Alan Callender was a sprinter. People talked about Enyo Kwanzaa. That is probably my favorite player to play beside. Enyo Kwanzaa. Boy, Kwanzaa is one of the nicest players I've seen, because I remember there's a guy in Jamaica, he reminded me of so much, because he knew how to get that ball in the goal, and he had the ball sense and the skill. Who played in the cup, the newspaper cup? Contrast, yeah. every Saturday we used to train down by UFC, you know. Yeah, man, so that's one of my favorite days. And then he moved and went out to Calgary.
We keeping it real here. The departing of some of your membership, the Guyanese reunion.
Of course, we had a few Guyanese guys.
Mm-hmm.
I had met them when I first came up. They used to play up at Upper Canada College. And you know, where they play the cricket. And you know, after cricket now, they form a little football. You know, the cricketers who play football will play after the game. So when I came up, my friend Carl Mullins invited me to come up there. So I knew all these guys, and so therefore all these guys from Ghana started coming up, and of course I think they're the first set of guys to leave, because they had enough guys to play to put a team together, and then of course, you know, like Barbados was I think they were the second team to leave. And then you know, like work around till and then I and then West Indies became technically a Jamaican team.
Mm-hmm.
All the Trinidadians went to Irie. Some people never left. When it comes to Irie, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Earl and Keith were my boys from before,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I mean, like, if a man asked me for me to call 10 Irish people, your name would definitely be in it, because I remember when you came up and watching you playing and singing, boy, you know, like, you and I would have played well together.
Why you think so?
The energy, man, the guy, you know, like, with your move, you know what I mean?
What made you leave West Indies?
So, what I mean that I it's kind of get a little bit fed up with those guys, right? And then Barbados, most of the guys from Barbados had left.
Okay.
And so they put them like in the second division, and they wanted to move up, and they actually asked me if I could come and play with them. So when those guys asked me, and some of them I say were with West Indies. So when they asked me, I said, okay, no problem. And I left and I played with Barbados for 1 year. And they moved from Division 2 to 3 to 2 or 2 to 1. I don't remember. But anyway, they moved up. And I got along with quite a few of the guys, you know. So I went and we played and won the division. And I went back to the army and said, okay, well, West Indies really is my team. But when I got back to West Indies, I got a really poor reception. Yeah, well, the thing that I went back and Glanville put me on like I go to practice,
Mm-hmm.
and he picked the team himself on Dunkley, because they were now in Caroots because I left. And they wouldn't they wouldn't put me on the team. So then contrast comes around, and they didn't put me on the first team. So they put me on the second team, and the funny thing about it, Glanville shouldn't really treat me like that, because but they tried, and the talking and all that, and like traitor, you know what I mean? I figured, well, okay, if this is the situation, I don't need to be here, so I left. And one of those Italian guys called me and said, well, look, we have a team called Danforth Italian. So I played with them, and, you know, like, that's when Junior, Tall Junior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tall Junior was
Junior Paul.
Yeah, he was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We actually won the, you know, it was like a second or third division team.
Mm-hmm.
We actually won the league too, right? But, you know, let's say football by this time now, I mean, I had a CBC team which I captained, and got three of my Caribbean friends who didn't work at the CBC. But being the captain, I squeeze them on the team because I didn't need the identification. So I won that too, so I can't complain. Meantime, I was playing all over the place, you know, like in the radio football. Because every Sunday we used to play up at Kennedy Road there, you know. With Melo and those, you know. And then also at the CDC, CDC had games every Saturday, so I just play. I just play football.
I always associated you with Magic Athletic Club here. What role you played?
One of the guys from Magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's well, I don't know. They knew me as a footballer, so, and I guess I don't know if it's because I'm older than them or what, but at any rate, they said to me that they kick around in the West, and they would like me they'd like to get into the league. So they needed me, and I just said, well, no problem. So I just went and I was supposed to be the player coach. Yeah, I was supposed to be player coach, but sometimes they're mad at me because I'm thinking, well, these other guys come here and they want to play, you know, and I'm still playing the CDC and fooling around the place. So therefore, I played some of the other guys. Some of them weren't all that great.
Mm-hmm.
But I had Vincent Marshall, I had Jimmy, oh Lord. That's one of the sweetest soccer players ever played beside. Look at basic, what come from England. Yeah, so we had Basic and all those, one or two great guys, man.
The type of following Magic had.
What I can tell you is that, for a fact, is that one of the things that when it came to football, we had a nice, decent set of people, and we had a nice crowd, and we're the only team that girls following us. And in fact, if you know, it's like usually we're in one stand, and the other team would be in the stand across, you know, because we usually play them at the bottom of Kennedy Road there. The beauty about it, I think when we had a party, boy, we had girls like there. Because Dave was one of the original guys that invited me to, because he and those guys used to play together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dave became my really good friend. In fact, even though I get Cheryl a call once in a while.
Once I came around Magic, I held on to Diva and Cheryl.
There's one other girl that I love in that respect to, is Nadia.
Yeah, in your son, Baete, and the three musketeers, I call them, Warren and Elvis, they end up playing with, and I think they won scholarship and stuff, so it had to be you found a home away from West Indies because that's where your son identify with.
Well, from me it was about 7, you know. I used to take him up to Antrim.
You see?
And I said to him, well, there's Leroy and there's Bully. I said, those guys are coming towards you. Just kick away the ball. I mean, or leave the ball to them because those guys will run over you.
Yeah.
The other guys who are really great players like Glenn and so on, those guys, they'll probably even let you go by if they feel like it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, there are a couple of guys there who were like crazy.
Okay, and that's how Baete really get his feet wet, because was Elvis and those guys around him then, or no?
Well, Elvis was on another team. Elvis and Warren were on another team.
So how they came together?
Yeah, when they played for Gilwood. They all joined Gilwood.
I want to wish you all the best. Stay safe.
The same to you, sir.